Well, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Farzy Show here at the Steven Singer Studios. I often poke fun at how many times we say this, but we got a lot for you today. We got a lot on the Phillies. We got a lot on the Sixers. We got a lot on the Flyers. We got a lot on the Eagles. And you know what? We're going to go all the way to jolly old London. That's right, jolly old, the UK, as a matter of fact. And we're going to talk to our friend Dave of UK Phillies to get his perspective from across the pond on all the things that happened with the Phillies over the weekend. We have Dave Dombrowski addressing the media yesterday. We got some sound from them, courtesy of 6ABC. We also have Joe Girardi talking about their latest win, how good Aaron Nola looked. We got some reaction to Steve Nelson, the new Eagles cornerback, so we look forward to talking about that. And the Flyers just go bonkers. Chuck Fletcher loses his damn mind is what happens over the last couple of days. And then we also have some news coming from our good friend Keith Pompey, friend of the show, from Inquirer.com. And there's been multiple reports now saying the Ben Simmons trade is now, quote unquote, inevitable. Inevitable. Inevitable is the first time I've seen that word. That's the first time I've seen that word linked to Ben Simmons as a report per a source. Not asking a fan, not asking someone like myself who's very reactionary, asking somebody in the NBA circle. Keith Pompey's reporting the trade is now inevitable, according to sources throughout the league. I've never fallen into the school of that Ben Simmons can't come back to Philadelphia. I know that was a lot of people's take on it. I was there the night that everything went down, the Game 7 against the Hawks, and certainly everyone there walking out of the building was pissed off about Ben Simmons, and so was I. But the one thing that I try to keep in my mind is that if Donovan McNabb could come back and play in this city after that offense was dragging its ass in the last 5 minutes of that Super Bowl, and after it came from two offensive linemen that he had thrown up in the huddle at that game, if he could start the very next year and then play for the next several years in Philadelphia, the next, 6 years in Philadelphia, 7 years in Philadelphia, I think Ben Simmons can come back from a bad playoff series, a really bad playoff series, and an embarrassing moment. So I have never been under the school of it has to happen where Ben Simmons can't come back. He has to be traded. But to see for the first time in print that it is inevitable that he's traded, and it's saying that most likely, according to Keith Pompey and his sources, it's going to happen in the preseason. A lot of things have to fall into place, but it could happen in the preseason. It's not going to happen in the near future, but it could happen very much down the line. So definitely worth checking out Keith Pompey's story today in the Inquirer. My reaction to it is, as long as you're getting that all-star player back, as long as you're getting somebody who's going to be a prolific scorer in this offense. So that's why, other than Dame Lillard, the only other name that has really raised my eyebrows to go, that would give you pretty much exactly what you don't have with Ben Simmons. And that is a prolific scorer. I'll take a guy that has back-to-back 30-point seasons, and Bradley Beal. As you can tell, I'm still fighting that cold. More on that in a minute. So I'll party with Bradley Beal, and then we'll talk about a trade package. It's still a conversation. It's closer to the slam dunk one-man deal that Dame Lillard that we could talk about there, but it's not exactly the slam dunk deal. I'll still have that conversation about Bradley Beal. What else you'd be willing to package up for Ben Simmons here? But it's still all the reports remain the same in terms of at least that all-star caliber player. I still say to heck with that. You got to get somebody in here that is an all-star. So that's where I'm at as far as Ben Simmons goes and all that stuff right there. So, all right. I was hoping I wouldn't have to get into this early, but as the voice isn't holding up, here's what I did over the weekend. I skipped a party over the weekend because I feel like such crap. And I wanted to make sure that I was as good as I could be for you guys here today, right now. And I want to make sure that I'm as good as I can be for Friday when I'm supposed to fly to Colorado. So I did something I hadn't done in a couple of months here, and I went out and I got myself a COVID test. I tested negative. Not going to hold suspense there. I got the rapid test done, and then I went to the doctor for just another checkup. I'm fighting. And the doctor said, do you want to take a COVID test? It's funny you mentioned that, Doc. I took one yesterday, the rapid one, and they said negative. And they go, okay, do you want to do another one just to be safe? And I'm like, what the hell? What's the first one for? But I said, sure. And let me tell you, I forgot what a pleasant experience it is having somebody just swab the inside of your nose, like basically tickling your brain. That was fun. Yeah, so I'm waiting on the results of the other one, but I don't think it's COVID. I've had COVID. I got vaccinated. I already tested negative on a rapid one. Hopefully, just to I don't know, cover all my bases, I guess. I took the second one. So that's where I'm at right now. The doctor told me they thought I was sick with, what do you call it, hyperactive allergies. So hopefully that's what it is. There you go. That's where I'm at right now. Sorry, folks. Talking a lot about the Phillies, obviously over the weekend and all their stuff they had going on with their 4-game series. But the thing that really jumped out to me over this weekend was the play or the transactions of our beloved Philadelphia Flyers. I'm like in a whirlwind over the weekend over all the things that are happening. We went into the weekend knowing that Shane Gostisbehere had already been traded for nothing, basically for cap relief. And then they bring in Rasmus from Buffalo. And the MO on this guy that he definitely plays hard, definitely has that bad boy edge to him on the defensive end of things, which is great. But then they also go and they finally unload Jake Voracek. Jake Voracek was a guy that I don't think wanted to play for Alain Vigneault anymore. I don't know how happy he was to play in the city of Philadelphia, but definitely I don't think he was happy playing for Alain Vigneault. And I'm fine with that. Jake Voracek had been underachieving for the last handful of years here in Philadelphia, and it was time to move on. So they bring back a veteran in Cam Atkinson, who has just been someone I have marveled at in Columbus. He's a couple of years removed from some of his best years out there in Columbus. But he's in a spot right now where maybe the change of scenery would be a great thing for him, and being under a new head coach would be a great thing for him. He made an association between John Tortorella and Alain Vigneault, saying that they're both very intense coaches. Maybe Vigneault has a little bit better of a bedside manner, if you will. But this is going to be a very different-looking Flyers team coming in to this season, and I couldn't be more excited about it. Did they give up a lot? They traded the 13th overall pick in this draft, and supposedly talking to people that know hockey a lot better than me, they don't think that the 13th pick in this particular draft was anything worth bragging about. They still got a pretty good player, a pretty good skater in the second round with that pick. So that's great to hear. It's great to see. It's great to follow the draft. But this is going to be a very different-looking Flyers team with a very active Chuck Fletcher throughout this offseason. He went into this offseason with a goal to create cap space. He went into this goal with a goal this offseason with a goal to add to the blue line. He has certainly done that. Bottom line is, when they take the ice next year, the upcoming season, they're going to be a better hockey team. Now, the long run might prove it wrong with giving up draft picks no matter what, because you never really do know what you have in a draft pick, especially a first-round pick. But bottom line is, every single offseason, we ask the Flyers to be the best you possibly can the next year. If you missed the playoffs, if you didn't play well throughout the year, if you limped into the playoffs, you got bounced out of the first round, we always ask the Flyers, it seems, more than any other team, be better than what you were when you walked off there, when you skated off the ice in the previous season. They've definitely done that. I think Chuck Fletcher is in a very exciting offseason. Definitely a lot of action. I like the moves that he's made. Some of these moves just had to be made. I think in what you gave up and Jake Voracek, I think you got back a much better hockey player, somebody who is still has plenty of good years left in him in Cam Atkinson. And I think alone with your blue line, bringing Rasmus, bringing in Ryan Ellis, for instance, I think you have done great things for your blue line already. And if you're Carter Hart, you got to be feeling a lot better about what's in front of you going into next year than you did when you skated off the ice this past season. So I actually give them a lot of credit. I know a lot of Flyers fans were thinking, what the hell's going on? Bottom line is, when they're back on the ice, they'll be a better hockey team, and there's still a lot of work to be done. I like how Chuck Fletcher said that this week he's probably done making moves. But there's still a long off season to go. Backup goaltender is another thing that they're going to be focusing in on. So we'll follow all that, obviously, as everything plays out. Here's what I got for you as far as your beloved Philadelphia Phillies go. We also have an Olympic check-in, by the way, that we're going to do. The Phillies split this weekend with the Braves. Obviously, you wanted to take a 3-1, 3-1, 3 games to 1. Obviously, you wanted to sweep, of course. it felt like after Vince Velasquez's start on Saturday, all right, let's just split. Let's just get split's fine. Split's fine. You went into it thinking, all right, you just lost 2 in a row to the Yankees. That's fun. Now you face the NL East again. Let's see what happens there. And here's what we had going on yesterday. Aaron Nola takes the hill. And you haven't really been sure about what you're going to get from Aaron Nola from this point, from the second half of the season on. You haven't really known what you're going to be getting from Aaron Nola throughout the entire year. Yesterday was exactly what you needed from Aaron Nola. And we're going to talk about the trade deadline coming up later this week, 4 days away from the MLB trade deadline. We're going to talk about that in a second. But anything you get at the trade deadline, from what I'm expecting, I'm not expecting Dave Dombrowski to go out there and just really rock the boat. I'm not expecting him to have some kind of huge trade and bring in some incredible play. As much as I'd love Chris Bryant, I don't think it's going to happen. As much as I love some of these other guys, I don't think that's going to help. I really like Nelson Cruz. Obviously, he's already gone. He's already been traded. But I'm not expecting any blockbuster deal from Dave Dombrowski. I'm expecting a good deal. I'm expecting some middle relief, bullpen help, obviously. That's what I'm expecting. But anything you get at the trade deadline will pale in comparison to what Aaron Nola, being Aaron Nola, ace Aaron Nola, could be. You're not going to get anything better at the deadline with what you have to give up as an organization. The assets that you have or lack thereof. You're not going to get anything better than what Aaron Nola potentially could give you in the second half of the year. So if yesterday was a sneak peek to what you're going to be seeing through August and September of Aaron Nola, then the Phillies they're going to win the division. That's going to happen. If the lineup stays healthy, the way the lineup has been healthy as of late, then you're going to win the division. You're not just going to compete for a wild card. You're not just going to be playing meaningful games at the end of September. You're going to be looking to win the division. If you get Aaron Nola to give you performances, it doesn't even have to be 8 2/3 like it was yesterday. You get Aaron Nola to give you 7 scoreless innings. You get a little bit of bullpen help at the deadline, then you are going to win the division. Anything that you could be adding with the assets the Phillies have right now is going to pale in comparison to what Aaron Nola could give you if yesterday was a sneak peek to the rest of the season for him. Because we all know that he's had his struggles. We've talked about an ERA close to 6, right, over his last handful of starts. We've talked about how he has not looked anything like the guy that was the Cy Young candidate from a couple of years ago. We've talked a lot about a lot of the offseason, off-the-field drama with Aaron Nola as of late. But right now, if this is the guy you're going to get, then the Phillies are in pretty good hands. Him, you're monitoring Zach Wheeler, what he can give you throughout. Maybe you get some back end of the rotation help. Maybe you sign a guy like Cole Hamels and he stretches himself out, gets back to health, 100% health or 100%. How we know he can pitch at this point in his career. I'm not looking for 2008 Cole Hamels. I think most people realize that. I'm not even looking for 2012 Cole Hamels. I think most people realize that. I'm just looking for somebody that can be a back end of the rotation type of guy in this rotation. But anything Dave Dombrowski could do, it's great. Add whatever you can. I just don't think it's going to be as nearly impactful as what you could get from Aaron Nola from this point on. So that's why yesterday was so important to get that outing from him. And yes, let's talk about the things being in the feels right now, all right? I wanted Aaron Nola to finish the game yesterday, and I'm sure you wanted Aaron Nola to finish the game yesterday. Him being taken out with 1 out to go in the 9th inning, I know that on the surface, that looks really bad, and I know there were people that were booing. I heard it on the TV. People were booing him being taken out of the game. That's not the battle to pick. Yesterday is not a day to look at Joe Girardi and go, how dare you take out Aaron Nola? I will bang that drum 99 times out of 100 for you guys. But yesterday was not that day. Yesterday was the day to say, look what he did. Great job. Oh, my God, I can't believe he's still in the game. He's still in the game. He's still in the game. And then he wasn't in the game. 116 pitches? Yeah, man, you could have the rest of the day off. You can take this 1 out off. I know it wasn't great seeing that home run go into the right field stands to make it a 2-1 game. Aaron Nola obviously was 1 strike away from it. He had his opportunity. He didn't make it happen. Really, if you go back to that 7th inning, and Gene Segura just had an incredible play there at second base. You go back to that inning. I was almost surprised Joe Girardi didn't go to the bullpen in that inning when you had a runner on third with 1 out. but he stuck with him, stuck with his ace, the guy that's supposed to be the ace, at least. Zach Wheeler's been that guy all year. He stuck with him, and he let him work himself out of that inning. And then he got through the 8th inning, and then obviously he went into the 9th inning, and that's where he hit a little bit of trouble there with 2 outs. Would have loved to see him finish. Yesterday isn't the day to pick that battle and say, how dare you, Joe Girardi, not let him finish that game. Yes, we'd all love to have seen it. He was cooked. Nola was done. Let's hear a little bit from the Phillies manager, Joe Girardi, after the game yesterday, where he talked about the importance of this win.
I think it was really important for all of us. And again, I didn't make too much after his performance right after break because it was on 2 weeks, because of the COVID protocols. Man, he was outstanding again today. Riley was the only hitter that really gave him a little trouble today, but everything was good. And it starts with the location of his fastball. It was really good today.
I was dazzled. For the first time in a long time watching Aaron Nola, I was dazzled watching him. One of the things I love seeing are guys off balance. And by the way, Toussaint of the Braves, he was keeping Phillies batters off balance all day. Gene Segura, who hit a home run yesterday and made that great play in second base in the 7th inning, he was off balance a number of times in his at-bats. Rhys Hoskins, what the hell, man? Alec Boehm, was it Alec Boehm that swung and missed it? No, it was Rhys. The ball that bounced in the left-handed batter's box. What the hell? The batters were off balance all day yesterday on both sides, but Aaron Nola, that was one of the things you really saw him do well, was make sure he kept those guys taking somewhat educated guesses when they swung the baseball bat yesterday. That was great to see, and it was also just good to hear Joe Girardi talk about how this team is just seems like it hopefully is coming together at the right time, and a guy like Ronald Torreyes continues to hit home runs for you, continues to play good defense for you, and also continues to play wherever on the field. And yesterday, Joe Girardi talked about that as well, looking to find spots for him in the lineup to get out there whenever he possibly can, to get as many reps as possible, which was great yesterday. Before the trade deadline, I do want to let you hear from Dave Dombrowski. This sound is courtesy of 6ABC. And this is Dave Dombrowski talking about the importance of the trade deadline and the aggressiveness that he'll have as the Phillies general manager.
We've been talking to everybody, all clubs. We've got a pulse of what's going on. Some clubs don't even know themselves what they're going to go on. It's more an either-or scenario. I mean, the one thing I can safely say is, because people have asked me, we're not in a position where we're looking to move players. That is not where we are. We're looking to add players to our club if we can.
David Dombrowski's going to make moves to make this team better. But again, I can't stress it enough. I don't think he's going to make moves to make this team astronomically better. I think he's going to make little moves. You think about what the Phillies have in their bank account. Let's put it that way. And I mean that in total assets. It's not a lot. And I know he's talked many times. He told our friend John Clark about that. About what they have, and they got prospects they could give up, and they don't feel like the cupboard's bare and all that stuff. I just don't see it. I don't see a big move being made, and I hope I'm wrong. But I still think it's going to be middle of the road type of stuff that you bring in to make this team just a little bit better. He's talked about the health of the lineup and how healthy they are really dictates how well they can play, which sounds obvious. But that's how he's looking at it right now. So he's looking at it as stay healthy, and I'll get you some good talent to come in here to help you win. I'm not expecting the big splash. As much as I love to see it, I'm not expecting it. But at least we know it'll be aggressive. He said multiple times now they're not going to be sellers. They're going to be buyers at the deadline coming up later this week. So I look forward to seeing that. Before we head over across the pond and we head over to the UK and talk to our friend Dave, I do want to tell you about our good friend Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. Do what I do. Go to Steven Singer, the other corner at 8th and Walnut, right in Philadelphia, for all your jewelry needs. All your diamond needs, you go to Steven Singer Jeweler. Looking to pop the question? Got a special gift you want to buy? Steven Singer Jewelers. And here's what you know. Not only are you going to be taken care of by real jewelers and real jewelry experts, but you're also going to be given the perfect price every single time. So when you walk in, they don't say, oh, you missed the sale. It was yesterday. No. The sale's every day, because every single day it's set at the perfect price. No markup. That's right. You walk in there, you don't have to negotiate. You don't have to haggle. None of that. You just know you're going to be taken care of by real jewelry experts. And also check them out at IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. Always fast and free shipping at IHateStevenSinger.com. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the second time we've talked to this gentleman. Last time we talked to him, we had a great time. And by the way, I'm happy to say this is our first live guest since we tried booking another live guest. And this live guest showed up on time, so go figure. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line and talk to our friend Dave, UK Phillies, runs it out right there. Dave, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good, Mark. I'm finally over COVID, so I'm feeling a lot better. And a belated congratulations to your Italy. I have to get that out there in the Euros. It still hurts. It still hurts, but the better team won. And how are you, Mark?
I'm struggling a little bit. I gotta be honest. I was telling my audience, I just got COVID tested twice in the last 48 hours. My first test, the rapid test, came back negative. So I'm still fighting through. I don't know. The doctor said it's probably hyper allergies.
Right. Ooh, ow.
Yeah. So whatever. It's an easy gig for me sitting on my ass and just talking. Right. I'm not out there digging ditches, as they say.
That's it. That's it.
I see you're all excited, and I am too, about the Phillies. But in order for Dave to do this, he's got to like bolt out of work early. Do you tell your boss, "Hey, I got to go to the bathroom," and then you're gone for I got to go to the loo, and you're gone for like a half hour?
Early. Well, my boss is off today, so it's sort of an impromptu lunch break. Let's call it that.
Because you guys are fine. It's what, 11:20 over there in the morning?
11:20. This is quite a comfortable time. This is all good.
Perfect. All right, so I know that it wasn't exactly what we wanted in this Braves series. They split, which is like the bottom line, at least split. What was your reaction to this Phillies-Braves series?
Yeah, I agree. At least we split. We didn't drop the series. We're still ahead of the Braves. We're still at 500. And we're still in that position of, what does Dave do? I've just heard he's going to spend. But the Mets keep winning. That was annoying. The Jays got so close last night. If the Jays have won, and we'd be 3 games back tonight. It'd be tasty, wouldn't it? But it was still that little glimmer of hope which we're holding on to, and you just don't know what you're going to get with the Phillies, do you? We went into the Yankee series just gone in the week. Hopes are high, go all in. Yeah, 2 games back, and now we're 4 games back. You don't know what this team is going to bring you. We need that offense to start clicking again. We really, really do, because we know we've got problems with pitching and the bullpen and the rotation with the injury to Eflin and Nola hit and miss and Moore and Vince. We need that offense. 4 massive games against the Nats. The Mets have got a huge 5-game series with the Braves. It's a big crunch week this week.
Yeah, the Phillies are going to go face, the Nationals. Juan Soto has just been belting the cover off the ball since the All-Star break. I believe he has 6 or 7 home runs since then. And then, yes, you're right. The Mets and the Braves are going to beat the crap out of each other, hopefully, in that series, while the Phillies hopefully can take 3 or 4 from the Nationals here. But coming up on the 30th, we have the MLB trade deadline coming up.
Yep.
I have been saying I'm expecting a small move, somebody helping a bullpen, maybe Rodriguez, somebody like that from Pittsburgh. Maybe you get Craig Kimbrell. I'd love to see that. But in terms of the big bat in the lineup, adding to the lineup, I don't necessarily see that happening. What are you expecting Dave Dombrowski to do come the deadline?
Who knows? It must be tough for him, because it changes after every game. We get within 2, we get within 2.5, then we get back to 4. Oh, what are we going to do? I'd love a closer. I would love a legitimate closer. Kimbrell would be fantastic, because we don't, and we haven't had since probably Pap, a legitimate closer. I know Robertson came in an injury, sadly meant, he couldn't pitch for us, but closers have that different mentality, that different mantra about them, don't they? That we don't have in our bullpen. Neris is not a natural closer. Alvarado is not a closer. So we can get Kimbrell in, then we can give Neris and Alvarado those setup roles, the less pressure, which is what they do better at. We can get Bradley into a setup role as well in the 7th, and Brogdon, and Coonrod if he comes back and shows some stuff. And of course, Bailey Falter, he'll have a role, and Suarez. It opens up so many more options to get a proper bona fide closer, whether it be Kimbrell or not, into the bullpen. And I think that will make the biggest difference. I would like another starter. Vince, the whole experiment for me is, it's done. It's done, But he's going to be pitching again against the Nats. Matt Moore, Anderson's back, but is Anderson much better than Moore or Vince? I don't think so. So I would rather see pitching help than outfield or help with the bats. Because the offense, when it clicks, is good. We've seen it. That Red Sox series after the All-Star break, the Yankees series before the All-Star break. We need a consistent lineup, which we're not getting again, thanks to COVID and whatnot, but once that lineup's clicking, it's good. And we do have some depth in the lineup already. So let's just get some arms in that bullpen and rotation.
That's certainly what it seems like. Now, you became a Phillies fan because you went to a game here in Philly. What year did you become a Phillies fan again?
2012. When it all started going south.
When it all started going down. A lot of credit to you, man, for sticking with us. God bless you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you have been here through the whole Vince Velasquez, as you termed it, experiment. It feels like every single year, Dave, we go into the year saying, all right, well, let's see what happens with Vince Velasquez. Let's try this experiment. And every single time it's the scientist standing over the beaker and it explodes in our face. So it's happened yet again. At what point do you think, at what point will they just move on from this guy?
It's going to be the end of the year. You know, if we don't get another rotation pitcher in, then we have no other option unless Spencer Howard really starts making leaps and bounds. But who knows for Spencer? And I feel sorry for Spencer Howard. He's such a young pitcher who missed out a whole year of minor league last year. And now again, he's been thrown up into the deep end this year. And there's a lot of pressure on the guy. And, you know, I feel like we're sort of overusing him. He needs more time in the minors. But Vince and Matt Moore and Chase Anderson are making it like we need you now, Spencer. But we got to get like Vince is done now. You know, if he had the options, he'd be gone. I don't think he'd be completely DFA'd. He's had time in the bullpen, didn't show it. He's had time in the rotation. It seems so long ago where he got that 15, 16 strikeouts for the Phillies, and hopes were raised, weren't they? I remember watching it as a day game. I remember watching it. Vinny V, wow, this is going to be such a good piece for our rotation, and it just hasn't happened. And he shows glimpses, but we need consistency. Badly need consistency.
100% with you, my friend. How good would it make you feel to see Cole Hamels be part of the solution in the back end of the Phillies rotation?
Like, I don't want to be. It's going to be quite unpopular opinion, but I want to see him back for the story, and I would love Cole Hamels to come back here and finish out his career on a high. But I hear a lot of things of not seeing it for myself, but hearsay that he's 37, 38 now. He hasn't pitched in over a year and a half. He didn't look that good before he got the injury. A lot of people, the good people on Twitter that I trust their opinions, are saying it's not going to make a difference. So I'm a bit skeptical, but I would love to see it. Personally, for me, I'd love to see it because, what a story. Philly needs, and we need a story. We need a good story, don't we? We need that Cole Hamels comes back. I don't know, some late bloom. Oh, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
I know that. See, here's my stance on it. If he signs with a major league team and it's not the Phillies, I'm going to be pissed off because that'll tell me, especially if he's got a couple of other teams that are trying to sign him, that'll tell me that he's at least good enough to be in the majors. If he's good enough to still be in the majors, then he's probably good enough to still replace Vince Velasquez at the back end of our rotation. Yeah, so if he can go out there and just show that he could pitch and be a major leaguer, I would want that to happen here in Philadelphia.
It annoyed me that he went to the Braves a couple of years ago in the first place. Like that, like what's going on? Come on, we should have been preventing that. We can't let that happen again. I want to see him come here. And you bang on. If someone else is picking him up to do a job, he's still an MLB-worthy player, surely. So we've got to get him Citizens Bank Park. Let's get it'd be great for the fans. Get the fans back in the stands, seeing Cole Hamels on his swan song. We need it for so many reasons.
Let me ask this. So the Phillies, there was a report last week that the Phillies, half of them have not been vaccinated. I'm curious. This is how we're handling this in the States. Now, it's kind of a controversial question here. How are you guys handling it? How are you guys handling it in the UK? Are there people in the UK that are like, I'm not getting vaccinated. I don't trust that government.
Of course.
Like, okay, it's not just enough. See, in America.
No. It's here as well. Not to the extreme that you guys seem to have it as, but there's still like I think they said that there's 90% now of the population now have at least their first jab. But there is obviously that other side that are dead against the vaccine and not getting it done. But the government are starting to bring in things in force now where you need to be double jabbed to do certain things, like go to sporting events, like going clubbing, which have just the bars and clubs just reopened, so you need double vaccinations for that. Yeah, sporting events need double vaccinations. So the government are starting to make it like and even jobs like healthcare jobs. They're saying to people that you should be double vaxxed or you're out of a job. So they're putting it on the people now to get vaxxed or you're going to be missing out.
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. At one point, did you say jabbed? Double jabbed, or were you saying vax?
Oh, that's what we call it. So yeah, we call it sort of double jab means double vax. It means you've had both your jabs. Yeah, that's an English. That's a very English term. Double jab. I thought that was normal. I was like, you guys don't use that term?
No, we speak in. I mean, come on, this is Philadelphia. We speak in only appropriate medical jargon.
Yeah. This is English slang. Double jabbed. Yeah.
Double jab. These are medical terms. If you go become a doctor in the UK, how many jabs?
No, they wouldn't say jab. This is street. This is English street talk. Double jab.
That's fantastic. All right, so it's at least nice to hear that we're not the only ones being like, conspiracy. So that's good.
Yeah, there's still protests in London about getting the vax. There's still a lot of anti-vaxxers out there.
Gotcha. Understood. All right, let me ask you now, Dave. I'm sure we'll check in with you again before the season's out. What are your expectations through the month of August, through the month of September? What are you expecting from your Phillies?
Oh man, like on paper, this schedule, we should be challenging all the way. We've got the Nats, then we've got the Pirates, then the Nats again, and then a huge series with the Mets. We have to be within 2-3 games of the Mets when we get to that Mets series in a couple of weeks. Oh, I'm always glass half full. You know, I can be angry at the Phillies. I can be down with the Phillies, but I keep coming back for more. And you know what? I need that hope because, if not, then what? Why am I watching? So, yeah, you know what? The Phillies are going to be challenging all the way. We're going to get okay, that's half full. We're going to get a closer. We're going to be challenging. The offense is going to come good. Yeah. But realistically, I don't know. You can't call it, can you? You can't call it with the Phillies. You don't know what's going to happen week after week. It's a complete roller coaster. But I'm glass half full.
All right,
I believe.
Here's what we went through with Gabe Kapler, and it obviously happened with other guys as well. Pete McCannon was another one. Phillies have been in contention in August. Phillies have been close in August. And then middle August, late August through September, epic collapse. Are you telling me? Yeah, exactly. Are you at least telling me that they won't have an epic collapse this year? They'll be playing those meaningful games in September.
Well, you would hope that this team would have some experience and put this all behind them. Surely these guys have all been through it.
Yeah.
Surely they've been through enough hurt in August and September's to learn from it at least and be challenging through August. And with this schedule, it couldn't be kinder to us. The Mets are going to go on a rocky road soon. They've got a tough schedule coming up. We get the easier end. We in the past we've had tendencies of struggling against these poor teams. We've got to put that right. We've put it right against the Marlins. Finally, it's now time to do it against the Pirates, against the Orioles, against the Nats. It's time to go. It's time to put it behind us, to learn from our mistakes. Time to put a real challenge and get through these easier teams on paper and really challenge the Mets. And I think we will.
There we go.
There we go.
No, you know what? All right. Last thing for you here. We talked about getting double jabbed, the vaccine, and that lingo. Do you try to work the word John in to the English, the English vernacular?
It's like if I say to my friends, "Oh, we're going for a beer," I'll always get in. I'll hit good John down the road. It goes, okay, a pub. All right, pub. We'll go to the pub down the road. Or friends going back to your John for a few drinks. Nah, over their heads. All right, your house. Your flat, whatever, but I try, but it's lost on the good people here.
No respect for Philadelphia.
It's a travesty, I know, and I'll keep doing it. I'll keep my Philly roots. I'll keep doing it, but it's hard, Mark. It's hard.
Dave, hey man, great. Where can we follow you on Twitter? UK Phillies?
At UK Phillies, and then my personal account at Dave S143, which is again just Phillies and sport. A lot of Olympics coverage and. Yeah, just enthusiastic, upbeat tweets. If you want some happiness in your timeline, I try and keep it all upbeat, and because why not?
Exactly. Oh, by the way, the United States lost to France. I saw that.
I know. And UK have a fantastic morning Olympics. 3 golds, 1 silver. We got a gold medalist in the potential gold in the taekwondo coming up. So this is one of our best ever days in the Olympics already. So feelings are high in the UK sporting wise, especially after what we went through with England. So it's nice to have some uplifting positivity in the sporting world for us.
Yeah, and by the way, I love that you started with the Euro, because I was going to end the conversation with the Euro.
I
because
had to get out of the way first because
God bless. Everyone's
proud of the England team. Like we went into the Euros not expecting to get through the quarters, so proud to get the final, to lose on penalties, and just to sit back once we scored so much. We went in our shells. We Italy were good, and I love Mancini. I think he's a fantastic manager. Italy deserved it. I'm really, really ashamed of what happened at Wembley with the scenes. It's just soured the whole thing, and it was
right.
It just put a dampener on it. But with the England team itself and the majority of fans who did behave and did enjoy the month of the last 2 years, because it was incredible. It brought the country together, the atmosphere, the final, the buzz. I was in a bar and the buzz was unbelievable. When we scored, absolute scenes. I think I broke my leg in celebrations, just being bundled by everybody, lost my voice, and then what followed was disappointing. But yeah, proud of the boys and roll on the World Cup.
I'll have to send you in our Twitter chat. I'll have to send you the video of where I was at in Philly. Because Philadelphia has a very large Italian population.
Yeah.
So I'll have to show you the video of the bar I was at. It was fantastic.
Yeah, do, man.
I will.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I will, man. Dave, great talking to you as always, man. I'm sure we'll check in again later down the line. Thank your boss for taking the day off today. Thanks for checking in, my friend.
Sneak back into work now, yeah.
Right, exactly. Thank you so much, man. Dave, great catching up with you, brother. Absolutely. Thanks, brother. Take it easy.
Best.
See you, man.
Thank you.
Dave checking in right there. UK Phillies, always great catching up with him. What a great guy, man. What a great conversation. Became a Phillies fan in 2012. He was in Philly. He was looking for a baseball team. His friends took him to a game, and he fell in love. And there you go. He's a UK Phillies fan all the way from across the pond. I never knew that. Getting double jabbed. I had a really interesting experience some years ago. My cousin had moved to London. And my cousin is just one of these people that wherever she goes, she just has instant friends. She's just just such an awesome person. And she had been living in the UK for a couple of months, and maybe 3 months at most. And my wife had a business trip over. I tagged along, and we met up, and we had dinner a couple of times, and we went out a couple of times. And it was like, hey, we're going to go to this exclusive club tonight. And I was like, okay, whatever that is. She goes, it's my friend's birthday. I told him I had family in town, so come on out. And I said, okay. My wife and I said, great. So we go out, and it just was this. It was ridiculously exclusive, and I felt like an elite bastard just being there. But it was the type of place where you needed a sport coat, and I go in. Fortunately, I always pack a sport coat for such occasions, and I go. We're going around, and the British people. I always just thought it was an American thing to marvel at someone else's accent, but being Yankees in a town of, obviously in a country of non-Yankees, they were marveling at my accent. And, it's one of those things. I don't have an accent. You have an accent. And I'm like, whatever. So one of the things they kept on telling me was different British phrases that they use that we don't. And one of the things they kept on telling me was pants. They kept on saying, oh, that's pants. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And they go, oh, that's pants. I go, that's pants? What the hell does that mean? And I inquired in a much more polite manner. I said, what is that? What do you use that for? And they go, pants is when something is great. Like they say, that's pants. And it'll always in the back of my mind. I always think people are messing with me. But sure enough, it's a phrase. Oh, that's pants. That party was pants. That wine is pants. And I'm like, what the hell? So that's what I learned. And now I learned the double jab. Double jab means you're double vaccinated. And now we're all better people. We're all better people. Speaking of better people, if you want to be a better person but get past your pain, use Rothman Orthopaedics. That's what I do. When you have orthopedic issues, you need a physician who eats, sleeps, and breathes orthopedics. You need an exceptionally specialized Rothman Orthopaedics physician. They not only specialize in orthopedics, but each of their physicians only focuses in on one area of the body, which means you can have the confidence to get past the pain and be what you were. Visit them in one of their 30-plus locations in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, including 4 orthopedic-only urgent cares. Learn more at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. So check them out right there, and they sponsor our wonderful our wonderful guest line. So always good to talk to have the people of Rothman involved on the show. Let me tell you now about Steak in Maine and steakinmaine.com. Ladies and gentlemen, this place is nothing short of wonderful. If you haven't yet checked out Steak in Maine and steakinmaine.com to look at their awesome menu, their incredible sushi bar, their enjoyable, delicious oysters, and 2 pound, 22 would be a lot, 2 pound tomahawk steak, then you're missing out. Go there when you get a chance, steakinmaine.com, and peruse the menu. In the heart of Northeast Maryland, voted #1 place for steaks in America by the Travel Channel and the Cooking Channel. They are spectacular. If you haven't checked out Steak in Maine at steakinmaine.com, this is some of the great stuff that you can get there. The 2 pound steak, the Eagle roll, sushi roll, the world-class oysters, and the freshly prepared sushi, as well as the prime seafood that they get delivered fresh daily. They are incredible. All this with an extensive wine list that includes Cavada Cellars wines. That's right, Cavada Cellars wines. I recommend with the absolutely delicious, succulent 2 pound tomahawk steak, I highly recommend that you guys enjoy a nice Pinot Noir from Cavada Cellars Wines, because that Pinot Noir is a great wine pairing with that steak. So do what I do. Go to Steak in Maine in the heart of Northeast Maryland, voted #1 place for steaks in America by the Cooking Channel and the Travel Channel. That's right, Steak in Maine, steakinmaine.com for more information. Now, how about our friends over at the FanUp app? FanUp, still a lot going on. I know the NBA Finals are done, but right now, FanUp has so many great things you could get in on when it comes to all things in Major League Baseball, when it comes to the Olympics, so many other things you could get in on with the FanUp app. Download the FanUp app right now in the App Store and use promo code FANUP. That's promo code FANUP to make sure you can take advantage of all the things going on with the FanUp app. You can issue challenges to your friends. You can answer fun questions. You could rise on their leaderboard by taking part in their daily and weekly contests. FanUp is where it's at, because the days of playing fantasy sports alone are over. Best to download the app right now. Get used to it a little bit. Peruse it a little before football season starts up, so you know exactly what you're doing when you're using the app. It's a new app, and it's a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun on it. People challenge me on it. People that listen to the show. Dan, our friend Dan Schwartz, likes to challenge me on the app, so you guys can always take that up as well. Download the FanUp app right now in the App Store and use promo code FANUP. That's promo code FANUP to get 2,000 bonus points just to get you started. FANUP, just be fans. Hope you're following all the transactions that have been going out there in the world of sports, especially in Philadelphia, with our good friends at PHL Sports Nation. That's phlsportsnation.com, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience. So make sure you're taking advantage of phlsportsnation.com. That's Philadelphia Sports Nation. Let's jump into our conversation that's going on social media right now with our social media check-in, brought to you by Steak in Maine and steakinmaine.com. Oh, you guys are loving Dave out there from UK Phillies. Absolutely loving the guy, and how could you not? The guy's just that lovable. Let's see here. Dan, call me a hater, but I thought Bryce's motivational Instagram post to Nola was dumb. Nola wasn't bullied or hurt. He was just unvaccinated. I didn't see Bryce Harper's Instagram post. That's news to me. I'll try to pull that up at some point during the chat conversation today, but I'll check that out. One thing I really don't like, if this is what it was, and it was kind of what Danny Green did. I don't like when players portray another player as a victim. I always go back, of all the people, I always go back to Dennis Rodman's take on all this during The Last Dance. I thought it was one of the best things that came out of The Last Dance. And that was, do we have me now? We back? Sorry, folks. It's like what Dennis Rodman had to say during The Last Dance that I was trying to learn, or that I was trying to explain here. Dennis Rodman talked about how he'll play basketball for free, but he'll put up with all the other BS. That's what you got to pay him for, all the off the court stuff, the interviews, the press conferences, people saying stuff about you and all that. That's that's why you pay him that much money. So I always thought that's interesting. And whenever an athlete plays the victim, I'm like, hold on, you're well compensated. Like, I'm not expecting you to not be a human being. Like, when people talk about athletes and how much money they make, and they say, oh, well, like when their argument is stop being a human, that's where I'll say, okay, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes on your argument there. Hold on. They're still a human being. I try not to forget that. I try to have a decent moral compass when I do this. But with Aaron Nola, I don't believe anybody was bullying him. I believe most people thought he should get vaccinated, as they think most people should get vaccinated. But if he's playing a victim role and I'll have to look at it, then I'm out on that. No thanks. Jason's checking in saying good morning. Cecil's checking in saying, hey, everybody. What's up, Cecil? How you doing? Good morning. Hope Dave didn't get caught in the London floods. That's a good point. Let's see. Cecil, hello, Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, we're having a much more intense conversation than we would for CJ McCollum, obviously. Really, he's the closest thing to Dame Lillard, in my mind, that the Sixers could get in a deal for Ben Simmons. The closest thing. I have told you a million times, Damian Lillard, who I believe had 4 turnovers in the USA-France game, unfortunately. But Dame Lillard is the only open and shut case, or at least open case where I'm saying, hey, look, whatever you want in the cupboard, take it. Not named Joel Embiid. But if you're telling me you can get Bradley Beal in here, I'm kind of close to that as well. If you're bringing back everything you don't have in Ben Simmons, offensively speaking, in terms of being a scorer, yeah, I'll take a guy that has averaged, 28 points over the last 5 years of his NBA career, 30 points in the last 2 years of his NBA career, 28 years old. Yeah, okay. Bradley Beal, come on. Bradley Beal, come on down. Let's party. And put him with Joel Embiid. Good things will happen right there. I see Dan is talking about the cough. Bill, same thing. Brian, same thing. Cold weed? Is that really a remedy? Cold weed? I've never heard of cold weed. Mark, leave the Reggie alone. Try the medical. It's better. My God, how much weed was smoked? He's not going. That did cross my mind. Going to Colorado, people that like to break my stones about possibly being a stoner when I'm not. Smoke the bong or a pen in the morning between us. Neither, people. Neither. Alex is checking in. What's up, Alex? Oh, boy. New to the chat, and this is great. Yeah, Alex, welcome aboard. It's a party in the chat. Mark test results came back. It was OG Kush. Am I saying that? Is it Kush or Koosh? Is it Koosh? I don't know. Cecil, you guys are brutal, and I love it. Mark, definitely a pen guy when he's out. But when he's home and he lets his hair down that I don't have, he's a bong guy. Nope. Edible on Saturday. Monday, Mally, what's up, Mally? Man, you guys are all over this today. Let's see here. So we were just expecting to know what the weather is ourselves or for the rest of our lives. There's an app on your phone. I know it's not as nice looking, but there's an app on your phone you could hit up. Mark said he'll get us a weather girl, and all we got was Mark's knees in a kayak? What? Hey, I told you I'm going to try to be on the horseback riding while I'm out there in Colorado. Here's what I'm looking to do for you guys. Once again, fly fishing, me on a horseback, a couple of morning rants, updates, whatever you want to call them. Let's see. And that's pretty much it. Fly fishing. Yeah, that's about it. So, yeah, we'll have some fun. We'll keep you posted. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. I'll be kind of announcing the night before what we got coming up on the next show and all that stuff, just so I keep you guys up to date. Just because I know 1 or 2 days I'm going to get looked at by the wife being like, you're supposed to be on vacation. Let's see. Man, don't trust the rapid test. Mine came back negative 2. Turns out I had. Oh, no. April. Sorry to see that. We'll see. It's just funny to me that the test exists. And literally, when I'm at the doctor yesterday, they said, we saw your test results came back negative. Do you want another one? And I'm like, huh? And they go, do you want another one? Because it's the rapid one. And the one that takes a couple of days is more accurate, which I've known all along. But it's like, why would we give anyone that false sense of security? Oh, you're fine. Go out there, live your life. But anyway, that's just weird to me. Vinny Vulo sucks. I agree with that statement, April. I do not disagree at all. Pessimist, or this thing is that he just really sucks. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Dan. Ray's checking in. Padres made a steal, picking up the second highest batting average and leads the league, and hits in its Frazier. Yeah. There is no way Cole is worse than Vinny. I think Jason means to say that. Yeah, I see. That's the thing. It's not even about the touchy-feely moment with Cole Hamels. I know that's a nice extra added bonus here in Philly, but if you're telling me you could get somebody that's better than Vince Velasquez, the bar's not that high. I need a slight upgrade. That's all I need. I need somebody that I know can take the ball every fourth day, every fifth day. Excuse me, every fourth spot in the rotation, every fifth spot in the rotation, and be a starting pitcher. You already lost Zach Eflin. Spencer Howard's going to take, I don't know how much longer to stretch out so you feel like he can pitch you 5-6 innings consistently. And like the bar is not that high. I'd love to see Aaron Nola, as I was saying earlier, be the acquisition, like the talented Aaron Nola, the consistent Aaron Nola. I'd love to see that guy be that stud for the rest of the season. I'd love to see Spencer Howard be a reliable fourth option in this rotation. And I'd love to see Cole Hamels be the reliable fourth or fifth starter in this rotation as the season winds down. That's not happening tomorrow. That's not happening by the trade deadline. Even if the Phillies sign Cole Hamels this week or next week, you're still not going to have him in the rotation probably for another month as he gets his arm back in shape to actually pitch again in a Major League Baseball game. But right now, you just have to be better than Vince Velasquez, people. That shouldn't be that difficult. Let's see. April, let's see. Dan, Mally, Ray. Pitching. Everyone's focused on pitching. Sean is in the chat. What's up, Sean? Good morning. One Guapo. Farzy got Farzy got that stoner's cough. Pay attention. You know what? Also, speaking of smoking stuff, I can't remember the last time I smoked a cigar, and I love cigars. Weather's been really hot to kind of just sit outside and chill. I think my brother-in-law's maybe 3 months ago was like the last cigar I had. It's a long time, unfortunately. I love JD's checking in. I love how Mark doesn't know. Mark is trying to play a cool Kush or Koosh, pretending he doesn't know. I don't know, unfortunately. April, fly fishing, horseback, meat at dispensary, normal stuff. You guys are great. Oh, God, I love you. I love you all. Thanks for everyone that checked in on our social media check-in, brought to you by Steak and Maid at steakandmaid.com. Let's go into our morning rush. Our morning rush segment is brought to you by Sky Motorcars and skymotorcars.com. First off, I know I'm supposed to hate Tom Brady and stuff, but if you didn't see this yesterday, this is pretty cool. Check this out.
Let's go.
Yeah, Tom's pretty good at football. I've never seen that before. I know I've heard of guys doing that, but I've never seen that exactly before. But by the way, the last Tom Brady on the highlight there, the last Tom Brady is the Tom Brady that I know, the guy that doesn't catch the pass at the end. Also, I mentioned, I'd be remiss if I didn't go further into the Olympics and everything that happened at the Olympics. I mentioned that Team USA, the basketball team, lost to France. They just got pantsed in the fourth quarter by France. That wasn't fun, unfortunately, but they lost. They lost. That's their first loss in 25 Olympic games. So their 25-game winning streak in the Olympics was snapped by France yesterday. Good times. Rudy Gobert is there. Batum is there. Nicholas Batum. Who else? Fournier, a hell of a game for him. I think he had 28 points. Dame Lillard had 4 or 5 turnovers in that, so that's not great. But as far as more of an Olympic check-in, here is one of the best moments from the Olympics sent to me. I didn't see this originally posted by NBC, but my friend who's covering the Tokyo Games sent this to me to make sure I played on the show. I didn't know what it was at first, but I'll let you decide. You get the idea. So thank you. That's our Olympic check-in. That's our Olympic check-in portion of the program, and I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. To get to the NL East standings, the Mets did beat the Blue Jays last night, yesterday, 5-4. So that's a game that happened yesterday, unfortunately, with the Mets winning again. So they have been right up there trying to keep the Phillies at bay. Phillies remain 4 games out of first place. The Braves 5 games out of first place. The Phillies now go on to face the Nationals, who are just a couple of wins behind them. They're 4 games out of first place. 8 games out of first place, 4 games behind the Phillies, for that matter. And like I said to Dave, Juan Soto has just been knocking the cover off the baseball since the All-Star break. So that's what you got right there. Back to football. How did I not mention this yet? I guess because I whenever the Eagles sign a corner, I'm always in a spot where I feel like they're not going to do exactly what I want them to do. They're not going to pan out. But sure enough, the Eagles went out there and they got they got Steven Nelson, a guy from the Steelers that they had been rumored to be after for quite some time. Now with training camp starting later this week, players reporting everyone will be in by Friday. They finally went out there and they addressed that issue. So what that officially does, on paper at least, is move Avonte Maddox outside to the nickel corner position, where he's great at, where he's thrived in, he's done great stuff in, and it moves another corner to come in here to play opposite Darius Slay. This was a great move. This was a move that the Eagles had to make. We had asked this question really throughout the offseason of who was going to be the guy to step in. Other than talking about quarterback, other than talking about that, and whatever's going to happen with Zach Ertz, the only other thing that we talked about was what's going to happen at the cornerback position. Now Steven Nelson is here from the Steelers, a veteran. He's a starter. He's a legit starter in the NFL, and I think the Eagles have a great option now to have on the opposite side of Darius Slay. So credit to Howie Roseman. All in all, now you're going into training camp. Howie Roseman's had a very interesting offseason, from everything that went down with Carson Wentz months ago to everything that's gone on to this week going on with Steven Nelson. Very busy. I said right before they traded Carson Wentz that I thought Howie Roseman was going to surprise a lot of people with what he was going to be able to do this offseason. And so far, Zach Ertz is still here, of course, but you have a situation now where they are still knocking on the door of getting who they think is going to be their franchise quarterback in Deshaun Watson. As far as the draft went, getting Devontae Smith, I thought that went great. Landon Dickerson still isn't signed, which is really weird to me. Really weird. We'll see if that happens later this week. But if he can play and he's healthy, then that's one hell of a second-round pick. So I think overall, Howie has had a very good offseason, and the Steven Nelson deal is just the latest one that he's made to, I think, shore up what you're going to have as your starters going into the season. So I think that is a definitely worth pointing out. Glad that the Eagles were able to make that acquisition. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening on the podcast. Thanks for chiming in our chat here on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe on our YouTube channel as well. Jim Hyden produced the program. This is a Buzz Sports and Entertainment production. My prediction tomorrow. And it's good that this is my prediction as I'm coughing. I will get through tomorrow's show with 5 coughs. 5 coughs. That's my prediction. All right? That's my prediction. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow on a happy Hughesday morning with our good friend, Hugh Douglas. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Take it easy.